Hey guys, King Jad here. Got a wee audio to go over from the Level 1 podcast that Phil did the other day on the 6th, well, the 17th of July, 2022, where he answered a tip question from Snow Carl. Now, Snow Carl is notoriously someone that does try to ask the more antagonising kind of questions. Like he always tries to kind of flirt the line between trying to be interesting and also trying to ask something which Phil would think would be not allowed. And in this case, Phil was very much not happy with the things that Snow Carl was asking him, even though Snow Carl was tipping him to it. These are the kind of things that we get a normal person banned, but because Snow Carl has been quite generous for such a long time in terms of support, Phil, I think, just lets it go. But this is what triggered Phil so much. And it was like back-to-back questions as well, back-to-back tips from Snow Carl. So one after the other. First of all, we had this.
Snow Carl to the $1.50 says, since the computer is a taxes write-off, do you think it's smarter for the benefactor to send you money and let you pay for it? We're not even getting there, Snow Carl. And by the way, whatever the agreement ends up being has none of your business. All right? Let me just say rest assured.
Well, let me just say this first of all. It is definitely everyone's business in his own chat if he's asking those same people to help him out with his computer, not only in funding it, but picking the damn thing in the first place. It is very much their interest because Phil has made it his interest to try and elicit as much information for computers and funds for said computer in the first place. He makes it their business simply because he engages in his chat to try and footprint all this information for Phil to upgrade his stuff because he can't do it himself because he's incapable of doing anything by himself. So they're perfectly entitled to bring up these points. And to be fair, what I will say in this, right, I think Phil, to be fair, I do believe he does log these things fairly decently. You gotta keep in mind this is somebody that managed to kind of get away with a bankruptcy, and I think he did that by being meticulous and even with his fucking Scopely shit when he logged all of it. I believe he is very, capable of logging this shit and keeping track of this shit. And obviously my fucking theory, my long time theory is that he used WWE Champions whaling as a business expense, pretending that it was part of his business for his gaming, because he just says, "Oh, those are microtransactions that are related to my business." I believe that's how he got away with that shit in the first place. That's what I'm saying. I think he's capable of being quite meticulous with saying. I think he's capable of logging it, and even if it's gifted to him, I think he would probably kind of log that as well. But Phil was just triggered so much by the fact that this kind of thing's been highlighted and being thought upon that it could be a tax write-off or not have to pay taxes on it because the PC just could be gifted on its own rather than the money for said PC.
However we do it, it will be done properly. If the person sends me funds for it, I will pay taxes on the funds that I receive. If the person buys it for me, it will be claimed appropriately as a gift on my taxes and determined if I have to pay taxes on it as a gift. It's none of your business. And by you bringing it up, all it does is try to get other people in my fucking business. So just stop right now. All right? Okay.
I think it was a very interesting point, and it's one of those things as well. It's obviously going to trigger Phil, but it will also. It's trying to keep him right as well in a sense where if he doesn't do this, he might forgo this important step of trying to declare it as a business thing or whatever. It's a lot of money. It's a big thing. It's like you're talking about something. He wants $3,000. Either a $3,000 computer or just a fucking money up front for said computer. It's a lot of money he's waiting for essentially for this damn thing. But I think it was a very interesting question to ask. Obviously, I would think that because I'm a detractor and it kind of goes into some of the behind the scenes financial side of things. It's not a terrible question to ask. You could have asked far worse. And there's anything wrong with it. But let's see. And then Snow Carl comes back immediately with another question, which is a different topic, but still triggers Phil immensely.
Then Snow Carl, then another $1.50 tip. He says, no offense, I think you're out of your depth on the PC build thing. I think you should ask someone knowledgeable for help to prevent major costly mistakes you'll regret later. I'm sure Linus Tech Tips would love to help you. I am not involving anyone in this, because here's what would happen.
Okay, the fact that he's determined to not involve anyone whatsoever in this is a fucking terrible approach to it. When you are out of your depth in an area, you need to, go to your peers. It's a smart thing to do. Just it's what I do. If I need help with anything, I will go seek help from people more knowledgeable in certain things. Whether it's like for me anyway, for things like streaming or whatever, or even detractor stuff, whatever. Even I'll go back and forth with people or detractors about certain things like old Phil lore as well. I will go to somebody if I feel I need to get some more information and more help in that regard. Phil stubbornly, obstinately refusing to do that, and he's going to explain why it's a terrible idea right now.
You get someone involved, I get a PC, oops, something's not perfect, and now that person gets a bunch of shit for it.
From you. They'll get a bunch of shit from you. So instead of going to somebody behind the scenes and trying to get help off them, you're going to fucking use your fans as a scapegoat so you can give them shit if something goes wrong with it. Like you've done in the past to Chris Furtado, not shit, the free K Lemon PC, that old fucking lore. It's just a thing, it's like, it's a very solid suggestion. Why can Phil not just go to somebody that knows what they're fucking talking about? Or why can he not even... He apparently has time to watch other people fucking stream these days, or not even stream, but gameplay from other people. Why can he not reach out to them behind the scenes, privately, and say, look, I need the favour, can you let me know what PC you're running, what your specs are for your PC, what kind of build it is, because I need to upgrade my stuff. You have good quality. I would appreciate knowing what you're operating so I can see if I could, do likewise for my setup and my needs. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that, but Phil, he just stubbornly refuses.
In addition, most people would not want to be involved with me because of my trolls. So I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. You basically did two of the worst suggestions in these tips that ever.
How is it two terrible suggestions? In fact, the first one wasn't even a fucking suggestion. The first one was just saying, be careful, it's not, about not getting in trouble with your taxes in case you fucking get the PC on its own. You don't declare it as a tax write-off or some pish, for your business. It's try to keep you right, essentially, but it's unreal. And the second suggestion was there's nothing wrong with whatever. It's a very solid bit of advice. You should seek help from your peers when you're out of your depth in a subject that you claim yourself that you're an idiot about these days. Phil has admitted and confessed that he's an idiot when it comes to PC stuff these days. But he's not going to go to anyone behind the scenes to try and get some more information and help. He's going to lay it all, responsibility for it all is all on his fans, so he can blame them. Not only will they fund the PC, they will get the information for the PC, and Phil will then blame them for the PC if something remotely goes wrong with it that is not to his liking. It'll be all their fault, not Phil's, because he wants them and needs them to be the scapegoat. It can't be Phil. If Phil was responsible for doing his own homework for the PC, he would have to blame himself. You can't have that. But Phil's not allowed to be at fault for here. It's not allowed in the kingdom of Phil, back down there on level 1.
Ever. First, you want me to talk about financial arrangements, about a PC build that we're not even there yet. We're not even talking about that. We're just trying to figure out what I would need. And now you're talking about me, like, dude, how about this, all right? Snow Carl, please listen up. You ready? Cut the shit with the bait. Because I know what you're doing. I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday.
You are stupid.
You're trying to bait out topics that are going to cause drama and issues, particularly with my detractors. Shut the fuck up with that shit right now.
It worked. You took the fucking bait, hook, line and sinker, You tolerate Snow Carl because he fucking gives you money. Let's go to our tips tracker for a second, shall we? Here's Snow Carl on the tips tracker. Shout out to Piece of Peace, by the way, for the tips tracker. It does amazing work of it. If you don't know the tips tracker, check that shit out. I'll put a link in the description for you if you are not clued up on the tips tracker. Snow Carl has tipped and has tipped for so long now. Since the 23rd of April 2021, he has tipped him 305 times, maybe more than any other detractor out there. Maybe more than any other Phil fan out there. He has tipped him so many times. $438 from 305 tips. The average tip is about over $1, almost $1.50. And I think he started tipping when it used to be $1. Because it's strange that the average is $1.43. When the minimum amount you can tip Phil is $1.49 these days. So he may have been tipping back in the days where it was only $1 you were able to do it for tips, I don't know. But yeah, actually I think it's actually true because look at these figures here, they're just showing us $1 and all that shit. So These are all just a history of things from back in the day. But aye, it's Phil tolerates Snow Carl and his sneak disses and debate questions because he's given them, $438 now. It's all small, gradual wee tips that add up over time. But he is a regular contributor, and it's would Phil miss him if he was gone? No. No, let's be honest, no. He's a regular contributor, but he's a small contributor each time. It adds up, this is what I'm saying, this is a perfect example of it all adding up. If Snow Carl is a troll, and he's like just doing this for just to get a giggle out of Phil, I don't even know if he fucking realises $1 here, $1 there, and a tip each time just to bait Phil. The motherfucker has spent almost $500,000 on fucking baiting DSP. What have we got from it? Fuck all. Sweet fuck all. It occasionally makes DSP mad, makes him go ree and all that shit, and I get to make a dumbass video about it like this. Other than that, he's wasted almost $500,000 on DSP. It's fucking dumb. Stupid as hell. Yeah, I just kind of thought I'd make a wee video just to point out. To be fair, that's what I'm saying, and these suggestions from Snow Carl were good. Also, the first one, obviously Phil was like, none of your business and all that shit, which is understandable. The second one was a very solid suggestion. Go to your peers, use your peers, get advice, seek their counsel, seek their wisdom, because they are running better setups than you, Phil, for the most part. You need their expertise, you need their knowledge. There is no shame in reaching out behind the scenes and asking nicely to anyone if you've seen that has a good setup or whatever, that you like the look of their setup, and just say, look, can I please ask your specs or whatever. A lot of content creators even list their own specs and their setup in their descriptions, whatever. They've got it available, or as public information anyway. So there's nothing stopping Phil from doing his own homework here and making an effort himself. But he's too much of a lazy bastard to do that. He doesn't want to take responsibility. He doesn't want to put in the effort. All he wants is information from the fans to make sure he gets the best shit possible, and the money from his fans to get that best shit possible. And then if it goes wrong, he can blame them when it all going wrong. He's like, I spent this, I spent that. No. Phil will not even remember the fact that the fans are the ones that basically spent this on Phil. If it goes wrong, he's going to say, this cost this amount of money and it's all going to shit. You guys I spent this money in this lemon and all that shit. I bet he won't say lemon though. He'll probably come up with a new vegetable or something, or fucking fruit. Is it this pineapple doesn't work as well as I want it to? It's your fault, chat. Especially you, Snow Carl. I don't know. Anyway, I just feel like I point out this fucking stupidity of Snow Carl constantly tipping all the goddamn time. And it also gets these little bits of salt like this from Phil. But yeah, this is a solid suggestion for the most part. Just use other people, Phil. Like, just you fucking use people all the fucking time anyway. But usually you fucking use them just as a way of making money. In this case, just reach out to anyone that has a good setup. Ask them questions. It can't hurt. What have you got to lose by asking for information? You have nothing to lose in this regard. It would help you. You lazy fucking shit. Anyway, that's been Kind Jad. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out.